So, what exactly do you do when you're having a sense of anxiety at work, when you fear the outcome of certain assignment or project that you're given? What exactly do you do? How do you handle or deal with such feeling? This is today's live on Equa Television International. My name is Joyce Jakada. I'm so glad that you could join on this edition of the program. On today's live, we're here to discuss with you things that are going to help you improve your work life and your life generally. Javi Manuel is right here. Sam was Solomon Savi. And yours sincerely, Engineer Tony J. Nakali, the man for the job. You know, I always advise you that if you hear him, you will not chop breakfast, but you can serve when you're on the wrong path. Good morning.
Have you stopped being a Christian?
No,
Do we serve breakfast in church?
No.
Even communion.
I said
till
when you're
almost when the sun is coming out.
When you're on the wrong path. You know, I need to ask you this question before we start this conversation. Sometimes I just sit and wonder how you are able to deal with a lot of things at the same time, especially when it comes to work. Like, I almost cannot imagine thinking of this and that, talk more of doing this at the same time. And somehow I see you navigate through all of these. And one way or the other, I think I've found encouragement in that. Before now, when I hear you talk about projects, work, assignment, I'm wondering, like, how would we achieve this? How possible? But I've seen you very optimistic about them, and it turns out.
A comedian was asked this same question. He said it's a determination of a cry of a mother. So, question. He said it's a determination of the cry of a mother. I don't know the meaning of that.
How you think about it is your business.
That's it. That's the point, actually.
How do you do it? Like, the past few weeks, you've been up and about, and you still look strong.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy. If you are enthusiastic about what you do, you will be your own cheerleader. I cheer myself. I have never seen impossibility in the things that I have chosen to do. And I know, like the Bible says, that we should walk while it's day. And then that the night is coming where you cannot work. There are people that are not my age yet, but their night has come and they cannot work. You know. But I thank God that my eyes are always Christ. And drains me the most, even though you didn't ask that, but what drains me the most is when I see people anything like. I am excited about the weekend. I traveled to Lafayette for a program. I spoke and did an altar call. And I had close to 97 or 98 people coming out to give their lives to Christ. And I prayed for the sick. And people wrote testimonies yesterday and brought. I have everything on paper. I intend to give the Equa prayer unit to continue praying for those that have given their lives to Christ. And then those that I prayed for healing, that the Lord should perfect their healing. A woman followed me yesterday to the car with two of her sons. We were leaving. She ran. She held the children. She ran and said, please pray for this one. This one, he's always having constant headache. And this one, since he was 6, he said his dream in this life is to be a musician in church. He doesn't even know what gospel music is. To be a musician in church. So, Joyce, why do you think I will slow down with such achievements? What else gives you joy? In fact, the pastor of the church said he has never seen, it's an ERCC church. I think I have pictures on Facebook. The pastor yesterday, when he was closing the event, he said in his life he has never seen a music concert that they did altar call. He said this one, Almost 100 people, 90 something people. I have a list. I think if we are done counting, they'll be up to 100. And yesterday, when we did the last day of the program, we asked people to come out and give their lives to Christ. The people said everybody has repented, and there was no need for anybody to come out. So we had a great time. Joyce, why do you think I will not feel achieved in this life? There are pastors that have been to seminary, they are holding churches, they don't have 100 souls in their account. And I can brag of, I think, over 5,000 in my life. I know. So why do you think I'll start thinking someone is saying this about me, someone is not feeling I am living right, someone is not, why do you think I'll be bothered?
Who make you judge over me? One of my colleagues will always emphasize.
Do you understand? I can never remember God making anyone a judge over any other person's life. Because the Bible says, judge not, so that you will not be judged. Condemn not, so that you will not be condemned. If you know the word of God, you will not see any reason why you should reply to certain people. Because their reply is in the Bible. Anybody that judges you is going to be judged. Anybody that has condemned you, and condemnation means I just wake up and start talking about Solo in a negative light. I'm condemning him before the person I'm talking to her about. So already I am condemned. You know, when people condemn something, people can see, there are people that can still fix it. They will tell you, this your car, you have condemned the engine. It can be replaced. But when you condemn, the Bible says so that you will not be condemned. If the Bible condemns you, there is no other scripture that can uncondemn you.
A songwriter said that why do people get worried about what people say about them? Like you're on a journey, you have a focus, you know where you're headed, and then people keep throwing stones at you. At each point you stop to pick a stone to hit back. It's like that's a distraction, and it keeps you away from your goal. At some point you just see yourself fighting that you forget even the pathway that you're actually headed. So they are not even the examiner.
The people that you stop to respond to, if you don't know, you are saying I don't want to get to my destination, because they are the propelling force of getting there. What do I mean? They are the reason why you know that you are on the right path. When you travel, you see trees on the road, you see rocks on the road. You go to some places, you see accidents. There's everything on the road, but you drive past them. You drive past them. You come to a place, you see a checkpoint that is longer than necessary. You drive past it. You come to a place, they say they are fighting here. So people drive into the village to come out and bust out another. You drive. When you get to your destination, you will complain, 4 hours journey took us 8 hours because this happened, but thank God at the end we have arrived. So if you stop to say, this person that have had accident, we must see the end of it. We will not leave this place until we see how the person is doing. If the person is going to die, we will all be here to witness his death. Meanwhile, you have an assignment. So there are things you just pray about and move on. There are things you stop, address. There are things you try to understand why they happen. You address them, then you move on.
Well, I think over here we celebrate God's grace in your life, like of seeing Him over and over again, using you to do great things in our generation, especially in helping the younger people. That beyond beyond music is a ministry, and God has used you in that direction, and we celebrate grace. Like I always tell you, I'm proud to be associated with you, right? Remember?
I read this somewhere recently, talking about condemning people, being a judge over people's lives. I read this. It has to do with if you focus on yourself and you're not distracted, you won't even get to see what someone else is doing or not doing. This man came to this church and he said he doesn't want to join because this other member is using phone in church, he's not concentrating, the pastor is not digging deep into the word of God, he's not dishing out what should be. He was just calling out different people. This one is not dressing well, this one came late. He was saying so much, and he was complaining to an old man in the church. And what the man said was, fetch water in a cup and go round the church 3 times without allowing a drop of the water to fall. And he felt, oh, that's a very simple thing. I can easily do that. And he went around the church without allowing a drop to fall. And he came so proudly, oh, I did it, nothing fell. And the man said, when you were falling, did you notice the person using phone? When you were going round, did you notice the person using a phone? He said, no. Did you remember the one that came late? He said, no. Did you remember from what passage the pastor spoke about and he didn't do well in his sermon? He said, no. He said, that is how it should be.
Because he was busy concentrating.
Yes, because you were concentrating. You didn't want this drop of water to fall. You didn't even notice anything that any other person is doing. So when you are doing this, when you decide to do something, don't look at what any other person is doing. By so doing, you don't condemn another person. When someone is condemning you, it doesn't get to you because you know the goal and you are reaching towards
It's
that.
actually the devil's strategy. You see, distractions is the devil's strategy to keep you away from the goal. But today is Monday. We talk about work on Mondays, and today the emphasis is on anxiety. Most times you see people at work, but more like they look lost. Not like they don't know the job.
They don't look lost.
They are lost. Someone slowly. Have you been? Have you ever been anxious? Have you faced
How
that?
can you look lost without being lost? Some people look found, Joyce, but they are not really found.
Yeah.
They are, you know the struggles. I know you were talking about Sambo Solomon, and I'm not him. But then let me say this before he responds. Before I forget, there are people who come to work all dressed up. But Joyce, what they are going through in their life, the dressing is just a cover-up. These people will, if you have an opportunity of sitting with them, they will tell you, if you know what's behind this dressing, if you know what's behind this makeup, I'm just doing it so that I can look good on TV. I'm just doing this so that I can look good for customers. I'm just doing this so that I can look good for my pastor. I'm just doing this so that I can look good for my husband. But right within me, what is going on is inexplainable. I cannot explain to you. They are there. They look very, very found, not lost. They are well dressed, but believe me, half the times they are at work, their minds are on something else very far away from work. Believe me. Believe me. So when you say some people are looking lost, they are actually lost. They are not looking lost.
Okay. Thank you for that. Have you ever been lost, Joyce,
to be honest, I would say so many
I wanted to say several times, but let me hear his opinion.
several times that I can't count.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's life. Because
Okay, before you talk about life, we're talking about work.
yeah, what I'm trying
Because
to
of work.
no, what I'm trying to tell
Okay.
you, it's real.
Work is embedded. Life is embedded
That
in
is
work.
life. You can't take work out of life.
And you
What
can't
I'm-
live like out of work.
Out of work because we are being created to work.
Okay.
You understand? So what I'm
We are created to work.
yes, that's why he made everything before he created Adam,
Okay.
and then he said name them. That's
Okay.
when the work started.
Oh wow.
So if you are thinking that even that life before
Is Jesus still working?
Jesus, yes,
What is he doing?
the Holy Spirit constantly
Jesus is
reminding us.
living in his Sabbath right now.
Mm.
He's resting. He's not doing anything. And he said we are co-heirs.
Mm.
So Jesus is not working.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So let's leave it at that.
It's another day's talk, but
Mm.
it's deeper.
Mm.
Some people still call on Jesus to do this, to do this. He say,
Because-
I say I've given you.
No, he said it. He said it is finished. It
So
is
why?
it is
Why
finished.
are we still going back? You see, that's why in some of my teachings, I say the place of prayer is not the place of asking. It's the place of fellowship. And in sincerity, when you fellowship, the Lord knows your needs. He will meet them even without asking.
Mm.
You see, people are living at different lives of different levels of Christianity. There were things people said in those years, Jemima, I criticized. And then later on grew to that level and thought even extra. When people disagree with you over things that God himself revealed to you, it's just a matter of time. They will understand it. You can't go and be praying to God to give you this, to give you that. All things. In fact, the Bible says here, you are co-heirs. So if you are co-heirs with the Father, that is everything that he has, you have. There are certain things you don't pray to God to do. He has given you power and ability to do these things on your own. I'm telling you, as you grow in Christianity, who said greater things than I did you would do? Is it not Jesus by himself? So what does that mean? That means you are allowed, is permitted that you can be greater than Jesus. Some people are using guns. It's true. He said greater things than I did you would do. When some people say that, okay, we sing songs like I want to be more like you. What does it mean?
Do the things you do.
So today, if somebody wakes up to do everything that Jesus did in the eyes of the world, what do you think will become of that person? People will even worship that person. So if Jesus is saying that, great, in fact, he says signs and wonders will follow they that believe. And he said, greater things than I did, you will do. Are we praying for people to get healed? Yes. Do they get healed? Yes. Are we making things happen? And things are happening. So you get to a level in your life, you know that this personality of God, Father, Son, all you get to, when you get to that level, all that is left of you and them is relationship, fellowship. But not give me. I need power. No, you have it. You are not walking in the consciousness of ownership. That is why you are still asking, give me. But if you walk in the consciousness of ownership, because he says, you have. He says, as he is, so are we. He said, in this world. So what is the difference between you and him? Because I call the name is more. He said, as he is, so are we on earth. So what is the difference? God created you in whose image and likeness?
In his.
Why are we not preaching these things? He created you in his image. So you are also a creator. But the thing is that you are a creator of your own peace. You are a creator of your own happiness. You are a creator of your own world. You are a creator of your own achievement. You can only achieve as far as you can see. So everybody is limited by his sense of reasoning. If you reason beyond how you reason today, tomorrow, you will become that thing. It's just a matter of time.
You know, over the weekend, I was sharing with a colleague. I said, there's actually no excuse for failure. There's no excuse. And like you said, your reason for some people is just when you see them, it tells you where they are at the level of their thinking, their attitude, the things they say. You just know where they are actually positioned. And you see, anxiety is something that has affected work. It has affected work over time. We're talking about productivity, but it has to do with work. You've defined work, making things work. So how do I make things work when I'm lost? You see, anxiety, over the time I've noticed, it comes from the fear of what will come out of what is expected.
What if?
What if? We worrying about the outcome.
What if?
I'm a victim. There are times that, why I asked you earlier on, how do you manage all of that? There are times that we'll have meetings and I'll just go out wondering. My thought is not that this thing is not possible, but I'm already thinking of the outcome of that project or that assignment. Like, I hope it doesn't turn out this way. I hope. And then you just find yourself just thinking about, or when you see that the days are drawing close and you're not seeing signs of.
Let me ask you, Joyce. Let me ask you something.
Mm.
You have worked in Equa Television for how long?
Almost close to 4 years now.
So you don't know how many times I've paid you that you're counting with your hand. So how long have you been in Equa TV? 7th year. Okay. This is your day 4 or 5 or so. But let's put this out for people to understand. What was the biggest project you have witnessed in Equa Television?
Worship the King talent show.
Okay, leave Solo to say the rest. Solo, which one
The biggest.
that you have witnessed in Equa TV according to your own standard, according to your own level, your knowledge? As far as you are concerned, I think it's better to put it that way.
Well, I think I'll go with just
Worship the King
Worship the
and
King
talent show.
and talent show.
Were you given responsibilities during that event?
Yes.
Are there times that you thought certain things were never going to be possible?
Yes.
Did they turn out to be a possibility?
Like perfect.
Like, what did you do for these things to be perfect?
It just came and it like took care of itself.
You know what?
Mm.
We like thinking on behalf of others.
Mm.
That is why we fail most of
Yeah.
the time.
Mm.
I am the one who knows how much is in the account.
Mm.
I am the one that is very aware that the money we have cannot do this event.
Mm.
I am the one that is aware that people's capacity is not strong enough to handle the event.
Mm.
But I am the same person that announced date, venue, and time.
Mm.
You have to think beyond
Mm.
what the world says. This is how you think.
Mm.
If you want to succeed in life, in this business, you have to think beyond. Okay. Haven't you seen a lady that is going into a committed relationship and people told that this guy, there's nothing in his life? I know somebody by the name Richard who were in primary school together. They said, look, if you marry this guy, you will suffer. There was nothing after. She said, I love him like that. Could burn me. Just leave me. Let me follow this guy. I think they are, is it US or UK? Doing well.
Mm.
You know, when they say somebody is doing well, to the extent that money is not even an issue right now, that's how Richard is living.
Mm.
We should not be in a hurry
Mm.
to think based on what is happening
Yeah.
immediately.
Mm.
We are doing Worship the King.
Mm.
I think in 6 days, right?
Yes.
The budget for Worship the King is about 10 million. We don't have even the tithe of 10 million. We don't have like half the tithe. We don't even have 20. What tithe is what? It's 10%.
10%.
We don't have 2.5% of that amount. Guess what? I'm traveling tomorrow. See, I am not thinking if money will come or not. No, I'm thinking we will win souls. This person will minister. That's how I'm thinking. Because whether you like it or not, if you set a date and you have given people invitation that that's your wedding, the wedding will hold. You are the one that is thinking that people must eat puff puff. That's why your mind is. You are saying that they must eat rice and stew and chicken and they should do a little too. That is why you are bothered. But you are not concerned whether the reverend will come or not. You are not concerned whether your bride will be there. You are not concerned if the person that will give her will be there. What else is more important than these items? The person that is joining you, the person that is giving the wife. Not even the person that is preaching. Who is he preaching to if the woman ends up not showing up? Do you understand the point? So will these two people come? If yes, fine. Let's wait for the day. But you are the one that will say, hey, I've not bought suit. The wig I ordered, they said this, they said that. How can we stop someone from joining you as husband and wife?
No.
Always think of the possibility that lie within what you are doing. Always.
And
Always.
You know, when you just quickly take your mind back to some of the things that made you anxious, you see that they came and passed, and you're like, So
What
why
is-
were you
no,
worrying?
Don't go even ask yourself, what did I do for this thing to come and pass this successful? Nothing. It is that day that will reveal the greatness of that event, not you.
And that was why I said that if we can just stop worrying about the outcome and focus on the moment. Sometimes you have the work, you're at work, there are certain projects to do. You're not even starting from where you are, what you have on your table at the moment to do. But you're thinking of the bigger picture that is not even your responsibility to take care of it. And it makes you anxious. And you see, you forget the one that is at the table, the one at the moment that is there for you to do. You end up not
see
even...
how funny you are. See how funny you are when you are given a responsibility to do a job. The responsibility is not for you to go and bring money that will do the program. The responsibility is something that you have been doing just outside the office. That's the only difference. This one, you are not doing it on your desk, or maybe partly on your desk, but the rest of it is where we are doing the event. Then you start thinking. Do you know that you said something that is very, very remarkable? And I know few of my staff think that way. When the GM announces something, some people are already thinking, how is my role? I want to give my best. I want to do this. But some people are saying, wait, it will not work. You remember in October, they gave us letter. They shared this. They shared that. This thing will not work. Me, I will not waste my time thinking. I will not waste my time putting any effort. Meanwhile, somebody is busy thinking, how do I fulfill my part? That is why sometimes you see, I will just call, there are 10 roles, but I'll call 3 people and give them. Even if it fails, I'm not disappointed. I would rather give the person that tried, but it failed, than somebody that says, how many things will they give me in 1 month? But look at me. I'm thinking of the entire ministry. There are days on the calendar that they put that I must respect. Do you understand the point? Our events as a ministry, then our events as a department. Then you come to think of supporters. Because you have to be in touch with them. If not, they will forget that they are supporting you. And it's not their fault. While they support you, they are supporting Solo, they are supporting Joyce, they are supporting. So if you don't remind them, if you don't remind them, they will remember. Some of them may remember. Some of them have things that prompt them to remembering. But some of them are like, they are the ones in need. The people are different now. They are the ones in need. So if they are not asking, I'm not giving. They are okay, yes. They got more than they want for this month. So how on earth would you sit down working under someone who says do this, and then you feel the responsibility he gave you is bigger than the one that he gave himself? In fact, telling you what to do is a responsibility for the person. But you see this leadership level, everybody is on it. Some people are just not aware. And I'll give you an example. As a married woman, you are a leader. As a married man, you are a leader. If you fail to respond to that leadership position, because nobody ordained you or gave you the responsibility or calls you leader, it will tell on your children. You can't escape it, man. Train up a child. The training is not for now. It's for when he grows old. So that time when it comes, when the stick is dry, and there's no training that can enter the head, but the one that has entered is the one that is going to be used. So look at the capacity of your children. So if you think you are not a leader now and you fail to take that leadership responsibility, it will tell. It might not tell on you. And remember, the Bible says that a good parent is the one that leaves inheritance for his children and his children's children. What is inheritance as far as the Bible is concerned? You think his money is... No. If you haven't you seen parents that have left money but their children are wayward? What happened to the inheritance? Nothing. You see, when people behave anyhow they want in this life, leave them. It will tell. They have children. Even if you are barren, you have a wife. It will tell.
I think the issue of this anxiety is something something that I believe Bible have dealt with. But
You
the
know,
strat-
you are making a point when I cut you off earlier, and I have
Yes.
serious interest in that point. You think I've forgotten? I've not forgotten. You say this thing, but you will go back to tell us the plenty times.
Like you were anxious at work and you got paid that month and you were anxious plenty times.
Just-
And I've never been anxious
should I
about
shake
paying anybody.
Should I shake? Should I shake the table?
You were lost.
I should shake the table.
Shake, you hear from me after the show.
How many legs does this table have?
It's like 3 from where I'm sitting down.
Please don't shake it. Okay, shake it where I come to the tax.
Okay, now. Well, you see, but the devil is wise. He always try to magnify.
Blame it on the devil.
Where did you see me?
Go ahead.
He magnify the situation and makes it look impossible. In fact, by doing that, he's telling you that that person that you are serving, that person that you believe in, that person that is in control in your life is a liar. Because he said you can do all things. Now he's making you look like that thing is not possible. So already he's telling you that the person that tell you you can that
He says the father of all
all
lies.
lies. So before you will realize, because there are so many things, so many issues, people around you, people that believe in that particular thing, and people that don't even believe, and you are just choked. And sometimes you just look at it. She, Jemima, we're in this. They explain this thing together, and I expect to see her like helping out, like seeing that we'll push this thing and it makes it possible, and it will shock you, like the pulling whatever will come from her, and you will like, should I just leave this thing? If it works, let it work. If it doesn't, after all, what's there? Like you just get to that point. Sometimes you even say it loud, forgetting the assignment, to an extent of forgetting the ministry itself, because it's a calling. So you get to forget, and then at that moment it's you, because it's self that is in control at that moment. But until you calm down and you were like, okay, but this thing is not me. Let me see, and you start something, because you have to start something. I'll give you an example. The day you called me, Obasi, and Tosin.
Is that the table you want to shake?
No. The table issue will come later in the show.
This one is bench you want to shake.
Yes. I can't remember the date, but that picture of your office and everything you said is clean in my head. Like I can up to now. But you see, when you said this is what you want to do, this one to me is an answered prayer, because it was a burden. I've been praying, and someone knew that I've been praying for that. And when it came, first I established that there is an answered prayer. Secondly, I said, why me? And how would that be possible? Talking about the Hausa station. Since then, I don't think I do sleep like well, because I am always thinking about this. Like, when is it going to start and how is it going to start? Then the issue of programs. Like, what kind of program are we going to start with?
Okay, you are the station manager, you are the head of programs, and the producer,
Director,
and script writer, and presenter. Greedy management staff. All of you, only you are management staff.
Only. Sir, to be honest, it wasn't easy. It wasn't. It was a real struggle and a battle. That someone told me, he's a pastor. He said, you see, this is beyond the flesh. If you think of the flesh, it won't work. Keep on praying. Address some of these things in the spiritual realm. From that time to the time that you called me for the second time, it was a long time. And when you came, you said, okay, 5th anniversary. That's the date. And I look at it, it's only suggested programs that I have, not even printed.
But lay approval.
But to talk more approval. And I brought it. Joyce will bear me witness. Like anytime I wake up, it is that trauma. Let me put it that.
Am I
that way,
bearing witness of the
of what I
waking
was
up
going
and the
through?
trauma?
What I was
Okay,
going through. Like sometimes I do run to her like, see this whole, how he's going to walk.
Did you ever cry
and
at
think
any
it-
point? Let's not bring our shame on air. Go ahead.
No, so the 5th anniversary, it is very important. I'm saying this, looking at the magnitude and how everything was amplified, you know. And you said 5th anniversary, and I quickly run with the names, and you said this
They
7
suggested.
they suggested list, and you say this 7 should go, but you said something. Don't come back to me. That's how you put it. You say, don't come back to me. Just go and do it. I know you can do it. And before I left your office, I was asking myself, how? True. I was like, how? Because I was just overwhelmed with the fear of what if
It fails.
it fails? What if it fails? To that 5th anniversary, I wasn't myself. Because I was trying my possible best to see even the ones you have given me and the ones that came later to add up to it. How would I get, the few episodes and the things like to present there? It was a big struggle. And you are dealing with the entire program. Me, I'm dealing with just a portion. Do you get? And at the end of the day, we came back. And then you were like, okay, on the 18th is the date. I want to see everything on air. I do run to head of programs. I said,
The English head of program.
English head of program. I said, this is it.
So
this
outside
is
head
it,
of program is collaborating with the English head of program.
But the point that I'm trying to hit is that after the few programs, and I took them to you, and you look at them, and you say, fine, the ones that are ready, they should go on air. The ones that are not ready, relate with head of programs, and then tidy it up and just go ahead, and we'll keep building it from there. I say just like that. I started looking for all
The excuses you gave.
I couldn't find them. And like now, I hardly remember that a Hausa section is coming, because the programs are there, they are well scheduled, everybody is on point, and then you'll be like, okay, I think we will build it on there.
And I'll tell you what a reverend's wife told me in Kaduna. She said her children wake her up even if it's midnight. If we are showing anything in Hausa, her children must wake her up. Because they dare not say, yesterday during the Hausa program, remember what they in her absence, she will ask, where was I? And she would fight for not waking her up. Because she said to her, that is Equa TV. Only God knows how many more people look at it that way. You see, when God drops something in your heart, it doesn't matter if there are people who are with you or against you. Because it's not the people you want to please. It's the God that said, I want this to happen. At work, a lot of people that are watching may not be Christians working. So these principles are hidden to them. For us, they are principles. For them, they are ethics. For us, they are principles. For them, they are ethics. Because every principle of multiplication is in the Bible. Every principle of succeeding in whatever you do is in the Bible. They are not ethics. So when the Bible teaches you things like that, they are principles. But when the world is telling you they are ethics, because ethics cannot grow beyond the level of principles. If you understand the ethics and you are not principled, it's like drive over talent or talent over drive. Which one do you choose? You can have the talent but not have the drive. That is what is missing in everybody's career. Some people are highly talented and skillful
Mm.
in the area that they are called to serve. But guess what? They do not have the drive.
Mm.
But you see people who have the drive, when they come, you pick them up and you place them above talented people. Because people that have the drive, they will make sure that that job is completed even if it is past closing time.
Mm.
Drive.
Mm.
Talented and skillful people will tell you, well, I know that once I come tomorrow, if I press this, click this, do this, I will export it.
Mm.
That computer that you are using has a mind of its own. So why won't you seal the deal while that system is still cooperating?
Mm.
Why not? There are times when I would talk to myself and say, you have done this, you have done that. Sometimes everybody close in this office and they leave me. And sometimes I know that if I stay in the office, I will not get the job done. So I pick my system to anywhere I can get light, plug it, and do my work there. At least if anybody is talking to me, it's greeting and it ends there. But in your office, some people come and they say long time and they want to catch up. And there are some people that you feel you feel it weighty upon you to tell them, Kai, I have work to do, you should leave. No.
Mm.
If your father comes to my office now, I'll say, sir, guess I come and take a call, my father. With which mouth? With which mouth? I'll even cack. They say cack. I will cack as though I don't have anything to do. If he wants to stay the whole day, I can't tell him I have work, sir, you should go. No. He's boss to everybody that is working in Ekwa. Immediate. If a director comes to my office, there are some directors that will even come. I'll tell them, see, you should go to your office, I have work. But there are some I can't say that to. But you know, the priority that you set, it keeps anxiety close or away from you every hour of your working moment. You see, I know that if I give you job to do, you'll do it. No matter how you pout your mouth, say whatever, do what, you'll do the job. But how do you feel that you complain and still do it? Wouldn't you rather just do it and leave the complaint, or complain and not do it? Let's see what happens. Do you understand? I just would to God that everybody would wake up to the responsibility of their tasks, like what you are given to do. Have you ever been to a bank and you see a nosy and some people that are highly attitudinal? Have you been to the gas station and you see people serving people that came behind you and leaving you there?
Yeah.
Have you been to an eatery and people do you favor? They serve you food like they are doing you favor, like you're not going to pay at the end? These are all the orientations that people have. I have been to a restaurant that anytime I go there, a different person will serve me. It's not that the other person is busy. People have complained and they have left. Yesterday, if not that I have a retentive memory, that I remember that I'm still a Christian. I think a lady would have lost her tooth from a slap from me. But I just remembered, I said, just outgrow this and just move up. You are selling services I patronized. And because I have paid, you decided to treat me the way you wanted. Yes. I was in the hotel and the lady was giving her. So I came down and I was talking to her at the counter. And she was chewing gum and was talking to her colleague. And in my mind, I was like, hey, you don't know me. You don't know me. Somebody should update you.
Southern part.
Somebody should update you. While I was trying to engage myself in a shouting competition with this girl, something said, who are you? Who is she? And then that's why I said retentive memory. I just remembered that I am the called out one. She might not be. So I left. But I did something. I asked for an upgrade of a room. So she gave me an upgraded room. That means I have money to balance. So I have made her a slave. She had to come for the money. I can't remember how many times. So when someone came to visit me, And I came downstairs and I saw her. And then she was angry. And then I said, your money, right? She said, yes, sir. Before early morning, I will leave now. And I have to settle what I have done and all of that. I said, you have to be patient. She did. She said, sir, just pay now. You are paying kitchen. You are paying everybody. I'm the only one you have not paid. I said, you're suffering the consequences. So when I paid her finally, and I told her, I said, I had to do that to teach you a lesson. I said, if I was a bad person, I wouldn't pay you till I leave with that money and you will pay for it. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. This office that you are working right now, the person that interviewed you and gave you this job is not the person that employed you. We are. He's not the one paying you. We are. This hotel does not generate money from another business to sustain the hotel. So when me and the person in 205, 103, everybody, we pay the money, that's when you get paid. So who is your employer? But you see, I was talking principles. She was looking at ethics. And that's why she will never get it. She would think that if she leaves this place, she'll get a better job. Ethics. The person that is principled is thinking, if I leave this place, I will own a hotel. You see the difference from how people think? Somebody is leaving a place to get another job, to be treated the same way and to act the same way. But the person that is principled is thinking, I will build my hotel. Haven't you seen people that always say, I started as a cleaner. Now they might just be 3.5 rooms. But it's my hotel. Because they are principled and they saw it from when they were cleaning. Now they are CEO. You might say CEO of 3 rooms. At least people are patronizing them. It doesn't matter, Jemima. If you have the wrong attitude to work, Joyce, look at ECWA headquarters. There are people old enough to give birth to some people, but they are working as cleaners here. Go and meet them. They will tell you that the most disrespect they have received are people that are young enough to be their children. Not even their peers. But guess what? There's something they will tell you that will hit you to your heart. I have been here for 28 years. I have been here for 31 years. I have been here when I came here, there were no trees here. There were just trees, no houses. They will tell you all of that. But guess what? They're still working.
You know what? Earlier on,
young people cannot take, they call it, I can't take that shit. That's what they say. I can't take that. They would rather resign and go home and be a liability.
You know, earlier
Is it a wrong English?
Liability.
Okay, they will go and be a liability.
I was saying earlier on, I was discussing with someone that there's no excuse for failure. You talk about drive, and I think it's one of the things that will help you fight anxiety at work, because when there's that drive, then there won't be fear. You know, embedded in anxiety is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear what if it doesn't turn out the way it should turn out. But when there is that drive, when there is passion, when you're enthusiastic about what you are doing and what you are called to do, then you fight fear. It was Sambo Solomon that was saying it is a ministry. When you see it as a calling, then nothing will deter you.
And Joyce, fighting fear, people are talking, because when you say some points, they have to be explained. Fighting fears is not any effort to deal with the situation based on how it comes. In most cases, it's disregarding the situation.
Yeah.
That's the best way to fight fears. Because, yes, sir, when you want to stay and fight the fears, where is it coming from? It's coming from Jemima or Joyce. So you are fighting Joyce, you are fighting Jemima. So the more you fight what they do, the more you are fighting them. And the more you gain more enemies at work. But if you disregard what is